Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Funfold Friday. I'm Doreen DeCebus, and I am from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and I'm excited to share with you another fun fold. So let me just make sure everything is set up the way it needs to be, and that you're seeing my screen okay. Got my computer here. So it looks good, so we can get started. That's exciting. So I'm just going to move this over just a little bit. Hope everyone's had a great week. Certainly feels like fall out today. In New Hampshire, we've had low temperatures just in the 50s today, and it's been sunny and beautiful and breezy, but definitely cooler than a couple days ago. Tonight, I'm going to be using the Kindest Gnomes stamp set. These guys are just so cute. Even this girl right here with the long braids. The set has 4 different gnomes that you can use. Has the beautiful little mushroom home. And then it has 4 great sentiments. So you can get a lot out of this. Your kindness does not go unnoticed. Warm wishes. You know me so well. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So you can get a lot out of this. So this is kind of a cool set. It also comes in a bundle. So it has the dies to go along with it. So you have a die for each of the 4 gnomes. And then you have the legs and boot, the beard, the hat. So you could always die cut yourself a gnome to put on a card. And use the die cuts. It has a mushroom with 2 different stems, so it has 2 different mushroom dies. It has the nose dies over there. So it's just adorable. So a fun set to use. Today I'm also going to be using the Gnome Designer Series paper. So this is what this looks like. And you can see it has all different types of gnomes that you have the dies for. So you have just a variety of, excuse me, just a variety of different colors, different skin tones, and different hair colors. The beards are all gray though, so that keeps it gnome-like. And I'm going to use 2 of the gnomes from the front, from this piece of paper. And I'm also using the paper from the Happy Forest and Friends. So I'm going to be using this mushroom paper and the heart paper on the back side in the card. So I'm combining both of these. They have the same color palette, so it's a nice combination. So the card we're going to make tonight, if you remember last week, we made this vertical standing fun fold card that stood like this, looks like this in the front, closes like that. Well, tonight's card is going to have a little bit of a similar look, but just a different card. So this one, can see our cute gnome on the front. Your kindness does not go unnoticed. And then you're going to flip this and you're going to come to a piece of cardstock that you can open up to this on the inside. Such a cute little card. So let's get started and see how this is done. So what you're going to need for materials, you're going to need to pre-cut out 2 of the gnomes. So I have one in the pool party hat and one in kind of the Calypso coral reddish hat. And I use the dies to cut that. And then I just fussy cut one of the little birds here. So that is also something that you'll need to have out of the Designer Series paper. For Designer Series paper, this again comes from the Happy Forest. You need 1 piece at 2 and 5 by 1/4, which is the mushroom paper, and 1 at 3 and 4 and 1/4, which is the heart paper. And this is the same sheet of paper, it's just back to back, you know, the other side. You're going to need a piece of pool party paper that's 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need a piece of Calypso coral paper, which is 7 by 4 3/4, and we're going to score this at the 3.5-inch mark. And you're going to need a whole mess of basic white cardstock. Most importantly, just so you get these measurements, this is our base. And our base is just a half a sheet of paper, 5.5 by 8.5. And you're going to score it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And then, of course, you're going to need, let me just move this slip away. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. Those are for the front of the card and the inside of the card. You're going to need a piece that is 2 by 3 1/4. This is going to be for the image. We're going to put the gnome on top of it. And then you need a piece for a little scrap for your greeting on the front. And this is 1/2 by 3.5. So those are the colors that you're going to need. So I'm just going to set all of this aside for a minute, and I am going to actually start with our piece of Calypso coral, or excuse me, the pool party. And I am going to turn this piece of pool party into this wonderful piece of striped kind of designer series paper. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So I have one of our stamping blends. The stamping blends can be used for so much. So you can be coloring in your images on, open stamps where you've got some places to color. And in this case today, I'm going to be using both ends to make a piece of cardstock into a piece of designer series paper. And I'm going to use my grid paper to help me. So I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to, and on this grid we have centimeter, kind of, I guess I could say, 1/4 of an inch. The grid is 1/4 of an inch, thinking school and centimeter paper. So I'm going to set this up right here, and I'm going to go down 1/2 inch with my wide tip. And this is the dark pool party. And I'm going to use my flex ruler here. And I'm just going to line it up right across the grid paper and use the grid to help me keep this nice and straight. And I am going to put a thicker mark down on the 1/2 inch marks. And then I'm going to go back in with the thin side of my blend, and I'm going to put a thinner stripe down the length of the designer series paper. So this is just going to give us a piece of paper that with a design on it that's going to match the card and everything that I'm using on the card. So you can see I'm getting those nice wide stripes. So I'm going to put my last stripe on. Let's make sure everything is still lined up so I don't end up with it being crooked. And if I do, that's okay too, because a lot of it will be covered up. And then I'm going to go back. So I'm going to put my cap on that end, and I'm going to go back now and use the shorter end, and I am going to go start with the 1/4 inch, and again I'm going to go every 1/2 inch, but this time using the finer tip I'm going to be adding a finer line to just add some, have some thick and dark lines. Now I could do this if I wanted to. I could use my light and dark blends and have a darker line and a lighter line if I wanted. But in this case, I'm just using my darker blend to have this pattern of a thicker line and a thinner line. So that is all done. Doesn't take long to dry, but I'm just going to set that aside for a moment. And I'm going to come back here and do some stamping because we're going to be stamping 2 greetings. So let's get the stamping out of the way. So this is the one of the 3 1/4 by, 3 1/8 by 4 3/8 pieces of paper. And I'm going to use Night of Navy ink on it. And this is going to be the inside of my card. So I'm going to stamp the You Know Me So Well. And I'm going to stamp that right in the left corner of my page. And then this is all done. And then I'm going to take a soft suede and I'm going to be stamping Your Kindness Does Not Go Unnoticed. So let's move that one out of the way. And I'm just going to line that up again. I like having my greet papers straight, my cardstock straight when I'm going to stamp on it. Just helps me make sure everything is lined easily. And I am not going to center this, and I'll show you why. So there we go, because I want to cut a banner on one side. So let's get this pad closed up. So those colors again were soft suede and Night of Navy. And I'm matching, I know you can't see it from far away, but the boots on the one going on the inside is Night of Navy and the boots are soft suede on the front. So that's how I'm getting my images. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and I am going to create this banner. So there we go. So that is all set. So those 2 pieces are ready to go. So let's start with layering some pieces. So I'm going to take my other piece of 3 1/8 by 4 3/8 and I'm going to layer my piece of designer series paper on that. And my designer series paper is 3 by 4 1/4. So I'm just going to take my Stampin' Seal and put that on the back. And then just layer this on the front. There we go. So that's ready to go. All right, so now I think we're ready to do some folding. So I'm going to start with my piece of Calypso Coral and my bone folder is right here. Now when I put this on the front of our card, it's going to open from left to right. So I'm just folding it that way and leaving it that way so I will remember that. And this piece here is going to go in the center of this. So let's just get that on there too. So I can use my little hearts to make sure this is even. And this piece is going to go onto the front of this piece of Calypso Coral. So I hope you give me a shout out. Just say hello in the comments. Tell me where you're from so I can say hi back. And I would love it if you would also let me know what you think of this card. And I would also really, really love it if you shared the video. So please feel free to do that. So I've folded this at the 4 1/4 score line, and I'm going to take this 2 1/8 score line piece and I'm folding it back the other way. So I'm folding it to the left. This piece here is going to go right like it was on the inside of the card. And this piece here is going to line up on this flap like this. Okay, so let's get some things. We don't have much left to do to get this going. So I only want to snail up the left-hand side of this, and I'm going to layer it right on the front of the card. This piece is going to go on the inside. This is the 2 inches by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper. And I'm just going to put it right on this piece here. So we have that part. And then the other piece that I need to add is this piece of Calypso coral. And remember, I'm putting it in so it opens from the left to the right. And I'm just going to center this on the base of the cardstock, base of the card. When I open this up, this piece is going to go inside. And this one has the inside greeting. And there we go. And now let's add that cute little gnome and the bird. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on my gnome. And I'm going to add him to the right corner of the inside of the card. And I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive, you don't need much, to attach the cute little bird that's going to land on his head. So there we go. The bird is actually, you can get him to go both ways. So these two birds were side by side on the designer series paper. So I cut both out and put them either way. Okay, so the inside of the card is done. Now let's get the outside of the card done. So we are just going to load this gnome up with dimensionals as well as the greeting. I love fun fold cards that are quick and easy, and this one is certainly quick and easy. And I really just love how special a fun fold card seems. So it's why I like to do a lot of fun folds. It just makes it a very special card for a special person and just makes them feel great. Okay, there we go with our dimensionals. So I'm going to put this little guy on. Okay, so I'm going to put him a little above the center of the card. There we go. It's just so stinking cute. And then I'm going to add the greeting right under his feet, so it almost looks like he's stepping on it. There we go. And then I have pre-tied a bow with the white baker's twine. I'm just going to make it a little smaller. There we go. We'll use a glue dot to attach that, and then I can trim the tails of the bow after I get it on his hat. Kind of like it long because, you know, they have the long beards and all of that, so I think I'm just going to leave it that length. And then I love how our accessories just tie in and make everything seem perfect. So I'm going to add these beautiful heart pearls that we have. And we have the hearts on the paper, so it just is going to just add some really nice a nice embellishment. So I'm going to put one at the end of the tag, the larger heart, and then I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of the little ones on the front. And these have 3 different types of finishes for the pearls, so it's a really nice set of embellishments. So this is our card for tonight, our Fun Fold Friday card, using the Kindest Gnomes, and it opens up like this. It can stand, and you can see it's kind of similar to how last week's card stood. But here we are with this card. I hope you enjoy it. I hope whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, that you say hello in the comments. If you try this fold, please upload a photo to the comments so we can see your creation and share those with everyone. And don't forget, I have started a YouTube channel. It's called It Begins with Ink and Paper. No surprises there. And I've actually, this week, I just started it, and I've already got some followers, so I'm so excited about that, and I hope you find the station. Right now, I'm just putting my Fun Fold Friday videos there, but I will be adding some tips videos, some tool videos, and technique videos as time progresses. So thank you for joining me tonight on Fun Fold Friday. I appreciate it, and I will see you next week for another fun fold. Good night, everybody.